This is the world-famous Comedy Store, home to the best comics on the face of the planet. Thousands of people have died laughing in this building. Comics have been killing audiences here for decades.
Any baseball fans? Love baseball. The only sport you can take a nap and miss nothing. Oh, good evening. I didn't see you come in. Apparently because you're dead.
But the history of the Comedy Store begins long before Mitzi Shore turned it into a laugh house in 1972. In the 1940s and 50s, this building housed the hippest nightclub in all of Hollywood.
Well, if you were to look back at Hollywood glamour and to the glorious age of nightclubs in Hollywood, Ciro's would top the list. It was a showplace of so many great stars.
What a place, what a place. Why, it's as pretty as a picture.
The greatest people in the history of the movies, particularly people like Flynn and Gable, Sinatra and Bogart. This is where they hung out.
And Ciro's was a place that had a heck of a population hanging out there. You had movie stars, you had some of the greatest entertainers of the world, and you had, frankly, quite a few mob figures there. You had a confluence of such an amount of energy. If you think about the kinds of energies that were there, you had ego, you had power, you had greed, you had lust. You even had some of the darker forces of people who were associated with the mob who might want to kill or hurt others. You had an incredible amount of energy that if Ciro's wasn't haunted, I'd be shocked.
Well, you know, the place used to be called Ciro. You know, it's a mob place. Yeah, mob. Uh-huh. Did it just get cold in here?
It wasn't always laughs and good times at 8433 Sunset Boulevard, however. In Ciro's heyday, mobsters and gangsters bellied up to the bar right next to celebrities, and downstairs in the basement, nasty knee-breaking sessions were common.
Hollywood in the 1930s and 40s was a rife haven for gangs to move in. Gangsters from the East began moving out west for all the new movie money, and were shaking down the studios for payoffs, and nightclubs were particularly lucrative business. Al Capone, Bugsy Siegel, Mickey Cohen, and Lucky Luciano all had a hand in the glamorous life in Hollywood.
The main room of Ciro's here was for civilians. Upstairs was where the mob hung out. That's where they had belly dancers, strippers. That's where Mickey Cohen and the boys settled things.
Are there ghosts haunting the Comedy Store? According to comics who work here, there are ghosts at every turn.
The Comedy Store is haunted by 40 years of Ciro's and 25 years of the Comedy Store. It's a haunted house full of alcoholics whose lives were never completed. It was here they felt connected, all of them.
So all you guys are drinking, that's good. This smoking will kill you. Apparently you don't have to worry about that, do you?
The ghosts that hang out here seem to be the same ghosts over and over. There's a fellow in a plaid suit that has been seen upstairs. I've seen him backstage. I've never really seen his face or that. It's always from the back or the side. I'll see him just leaving a doorway, you know, going through the doorway, and then I'll run and there's nobody there.
I was sitting here at the Comedy Store about 2:30 in the morning, just pecking on the piano. But I looked up out of the corner of my eye, and I'm certain it was Errol Flynn, standing right across the room.
I mean, I was in here locking up one night, and I heard two women arguing in the ladies' room. And the vernacular, or the dialogue, was not from the late 70s or early 80s. It was, you know, you're the kind of dame that he'll two-time and dump on the side of the road, and, you know, you think he's not going to be out there with somebody else. And I walk in there to throw him out. Hey, ladies, you know, we're closing up. You got to get out. There's nobody in there. This is when I found out I could run fast for a fat guy.
Movie stars, men in suits, women arguing in the lounge. Ghosts at the Comedy Store are as common as customers moaning about the 2-drink minimum. They're everywhere, settled in like die-hard party guests who just don't know when to call it a night.
And I think deep down that this was such a happy place for so many unhappy people that their ghosts come back here for another taste of that happiness and completion until whatever journey we're all on is complete for them.
This has been the peak in my career. I want to thank you all for dropping in. Good night. Thank you very much. No, please. Keep your seats.